Hillary, to the Romney campaign's point, though, they're focusing only on the economy, and that's what women overwhelmingly say they really care about right now in poll after poll. And whether it's a typical pattern or not, women are seeing jobs come back much more slowly than men are. Is there anything really wrong, then, with reaching out to women on an issue that they care about, on the economy?
Well, first, could we just get rid of this word war on women? The Obama campaign does not use it. President Obama does not use it. With respect to economic issues, I think actually that Mitt Romney's right, that ultimately women care more about the economic well-being of their family and the like. But he doesn't connect on that issue either. What you have is Mitt Romney running around the country saying, well, you know, my wife tells me that what women really care about are economic issues. And when I listen to my wife, that's what I'm hearing. Guess what? His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. She's never really dealt with the kinds of economic issues that a majority of the women in this country are facing in terms of how do we feed our kids, how do we send them to school, and how do we worry, and why do we worry about their future?
Well, that comment right there started a whole lot of, well, you know what going around. It was a soundbite that got both parties here in either damage control or on point. Democratic strategist Hilary Rosen, you just heard, who doesn't work for the Obama campaign, calling out Ann Romney for never working a day in her life. So today, Democrats, as I said, playing defense. And joining us tonight to talk about the controversy, Jeanette Caruso, treasurer of the New York State Federation of Republican Women. Jeanette, welcome to the program. Thank you. But before we all chime in, Andrew, bring me up to speed here, because through the back and forth, I think some people are conflating certain stands with certain candidates that never were in the fight.
Well, it started with that clip that we just watched from CNN. Immediately after that comment, Ann Romney fired back with her first tweet ever, welcome to Twitter, saying, quote, "I made a choice to stay home and raise 5 boys. Believe me, it was hard work." And her son Josh jumped in as well. Quote, "Ann Romney is one of the smartest, hardest working women I know. Could have done anything with her life, chose to raise me." And at first, Rosen didn't back down. Her response, "I am raising children too, but most young American women have to both earn a living and raise children. You know that, don't you?" The Obama campaign criticized Rosen. Even the president had some harsh words for her quip.
There is no tougher job than being a mom. And when I think about what Michelle's had to do, when I think about my own mom, a single mother raising me and my sister, that's work.
One Obama and then another, the First Lady weighing in, tweeting, "Every mother works hard and every woman deserves to be respected." Meanwhile, the Romney team sent Mrs. Romney to the airwaves to defend women who chose to be stay-at-home mothers.
She should have come to my house when those 5 boys were causing so much trouble. It wasn't so easy. My career choice was to be a mother. And I think all of us need to know that we need to respect choices that women make.
To keep the discussion alive, the Republicans deployed Barbara Bush and even sent out a fundraising pitch decrying what they call the Democrats' war on moms. But the vice president took it to a new level, saying it's the Republicans who are at war with all women.
I think the war on women is real. And look, I tell you where it's going to intensify. The next president of the United States is going to get to name 1 and possibly 2 or more members of the Supreme Court.
And in the end, the woman who ignited the fire, Hilary Rosen, did issue an apology. Rich?
Okay, and the backdrop, everyone, is polls that came out, we talked about it earlier this week, right? And they broke around gender lines here. The president having an advantage, what was it, near 20% here over Romney when it came to women. And a lot of people, Jeanette, put that before this whole hullabaloo over some of the culture wars that were going on in Washington over contraception, over certain states here putting further restrictions on choice. Now this flap came out. Is this much ado about nothing? You think this is really a big deal?
Oh, I think it's a big deal. First of all, let me just say on behalf, I am the New York State Federation of Republican Women Treasurer, but my comments here are mine personally.
We got you.
I feel at this point, first of all, and I have a plaque home on my refrigerator, all mothers are working mothers. I don't begrudge any woman that has to go out to work. There are many that are divorced, single parents, and they have to work. Equally, there are as many mothers who make the choice to stay home. 44 years ago, I made the choice to stay at home. I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm a grandmother of 10 grandchildren. I took pleasure in staying home and being very much involved with my kids. Now, they talk about economy. You know what? As a mother, I had to drive my children back and forth, carpool. You got to put gas in the car. You know what money is about. You shop for your groceries. You're in school. You got to buy uniforms for the kids. Who's in baseball? Who's in softball? Who's in Girl Scouts?
I'm totally with you.
It's all with the economy. There isn't a stay-at-home mother that doesn't know what the economy
And listen,
is about.
every guy who's been married knows one of the most dangerous places to be is around a table when you have working moms, moms who are homemakers here, and that sometimes that tension that exists between, well, some have to defend that, hey, really, I do spend as much time as I can with the kids, even though I'm working, and vice versa, you know. I'm working my, you know what, to the bone here because I'm running around.
But respectfully, you said a lot of women choose to stay at home.
Yes.
Especially with younger mothers and younger families, that's not much of it's not really a choice. And that's, I think, what Hilary Rosen was speaking towards, that economic conditions are piled up so much, particularly against younger families, that there is no choice whether to stay home. They are almost economically required to work.
And that's true. Some are. And I know personally that some are. And if I wasn't a stay-at-home mom, there are mothers who I babysat for who had to go to work. So I have all sides of the issue.
But isn't it a political issue?
But,
though? That's my question. Is it really Democrat, Republican?
I would like to say at this point, a lot of this stuff that's going back and forth between the Democrat, the women, the Republicans is a big smokescreen to take eyes off the economy and what's really happening. You talk about Mitt Romney not being popular with the women. Well, I'll go back to my experience as a mother at home and a grandmother who takes her children to the doctor. He may not have the best personality, but he's the best doctor in the world, and he can do well for my grandchildren. Mr. Personality over there doesn't know what he's doing as a doctor. What would you rather have? I'd rather have somebody that knows something about the economy than somebody that's just going to put smoke screens up about it and drive us into the ground as the Obama administration has.
But, ma'am, if we may respectfully put your Republican hat to the side, and I respect you and every other mother for the great job that you do. Lord knows.
Thing for this person to say, and I think she's done damage to her president. There's no question she's trying to help him, but I think she's done damage to him.
But FDR never said, I listen to my wife's view when it comes to women in the economy.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yes, he
President
did.
Kennedy didn't say that about Jackie either.
Absolutely.
It's not nearly in the same context.
They may not have said it, but
you
I'm
better
sure
read
they
the
When you're
history
talking about
books.
the overall economy?
Because Roosevelt relied on Eleanor inherently and innately. She went out and met with people and interacted with people when he could not, and it's written up in the history books that she was a very important part of his political career. Absolutely.
I think every woman that's behind the man that's running is very important. And don't tell me, I've been in politics a long time with my husband, and we discuss everything.
But that's really, I'm sorry, that just makes it very difficult to discuss this
Andrew,
issue in
you've gotta
any way
listen to
whatsoever.
Jeanette.
Why?
You've gotta listen to Jeanette.
Because any question about women in the working world, working women working professionally is immediately met with, hey, we support, if you support your husband, that's working. If you raise a family, that's working. It's not really it's really an apples.
You know, for example, we were debating in this country. We had equal pay, for example. There was an amendment for equal pay. And also there was an amendment, for example, for Violence Against Women Act. That's being debated politically. I don't hear the hue and cry over that. Some consultant opens her mouth, says something stupid, okay? Whether she said it inartfully or not, it was dumb what she said. And now all of a sudden, this is the defining issue. I mean, there's so many other things,
a lot more
substantial going on for the gender.
Richard, it's the defining issue of the day for the same reason that Joe Biden is out there still talking about the war on women. The Republicans did not invent the war on women. They were accused of engaging in a war on women, and now somebody speaking for the Democrats comes out and says women who don't earn a salary don't work. That's ridiculous. And it's blown up because of that inept comment that was set in a background of the Republicans are engaged in a war on women, which they're not.
And is it coincidence that I saw Barbara Bush out there? Is it coincidence? It just so happens.
Who brought them out, though? It was the Democrats and the war on women.
Absolutely.
You know, and they'd like to continue this, and there are a lot more important issues. And I think once we get this squared away and people get to the real issues of the economy, there is no war on women. This is all just a smokescreen.
Well, we've learned to let the woman get the last word at the table. At least that much we do know. Jeanette, thank you very much for joining us.